This is the quadratics cumulative exam part 3 starting at number 17. The graph of the equation f of x equals x squared is shown below. If a equals 1/4, changing this equation to y equals a times f of x will result in a graph that is displayed how? Okay, so first let's write the equation. A equals 1/4. We know that f of x is x squared. This is a vertical change because it's outside of the parentheses, and since this number is smaller than 1, this is a vertical compression. If we take our parabola and we squish it down from top and bottom, I want you to think about, is this going to make my graph wider or narrower? Okay, if you're not sure, you can graph these in your calculator. I'm going to put my parent function, x squared. I'm going to make my second parabola thicker so I can tell the difference. 1/4 x squared. And take a look at the graph. My new graph is much wider than my first. So this makes my graph wider. Okay, number 18, find the vertex for the function y equals x squared plus 6x plus 5. Whoa. Graph this in your calculator. So y equals, I'm going to clear out what I have. Y equals x squared plus 6x plus 5. This graph is positive, so it should open up, which means that my vertex is a minimum. So second trace, I'm looking for minimum, option 3. Put your cursor on the vertex, as close as you can get. Then you go to the left 3, 1, 2, 3, enter. To the right 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Enter, enter. It tells me that the vertex is negative 2.9999, so that's basically negative 3. And y equals negative 4. This was a minimum. Okay, number 19, identify the domain and range. For all parabolas that aren't word problems and don't have endpoints, our domain is always all real numbers because it goes to the left forever and to the right forever. Range means y values. Our y values never go down here, so we can't use all real numbers. Since our parabola is going up, our y values are getting bigger. So y is greater than or equal to. We start at the lowest point. The y value of the vertex is 2. Anywhere on this parabola, at any point, the y values will always be greater than or equal to 2. Write the equation y equals negative x plus 4 squared plus 2 in standard form. So we need this to look like ax squared plus bx plus c. I'm going to start with the parentheses. And I'm going to multiply this, x plus 4 squared, so x plus 4 times itself. This makes x squared. X times 4 is 4x, and 4x. 4 times 4 is 16. If I combine like terms, 4 and 4 is 8x. So now I have x squared plus 8x plus 16. And I'm going to carry everything else down, my negative and my plus 2. Distribute the negative to everything inside. Negative x squared minus 8x minus 16. Carry down the plus 2. Last we combine like terms, negative 16 plus 2. I get negative x squared minus 8x. Negative 16 plus 2 is negative 14. To check my answer, I'm going to graph in my calculator my problem. Negative x plus 4 squared plus 2, and my answer, negative x squared minus 8x minus 14. First I'm going to look at my graph. I only see one graph, so that's good, and I'm going to double check with my table. And I can see that all my y values match, so we did this correctly. This is the same as what we started with in a different form. If this was multiple choice, you could just graph until you found an answer that was the same. Number 21, write the equation of the graph below in vertex form. Y equals a x minus h squared plus k. Okay, vertex. My vertex is the point, -3, +2. This is my h and my k. So y equals x minus -3, or +3. Everything in the parentheses is opposite. And +2, my vertex. My a value is positive because this graph is going up. And to find the correct a value, I'm going to go over 1 and see how many I go up. I go up 1, 2. This means that my a value is 2. My equation is y equals 2, parentheses x plus 3 squared, plus 2. To check your answer, graph this in your calculator and see if it matches the graph that you have on your paper. Okay, last page, number 22. What quadratic function models the path of the cricket? Okay, so we know that since our graph is going down, the a value is negative. Automatically, all the a values are negative. Okay, so I can't cross any off because of that. We know that the vertex is the point, +3, +6. So I need an h and a k of 3 and 6. But since it's minus inside the parentheses, I need to have x minus 3. So I can cross off a. I can cross off c. Looking at my k values, the only one that has +6 is choice B. The graph of the quadratic function p is shown. If k of x equals x squared and p of x is negative, parentheses k of x plus 1 plus n, what is the value of n? Okay, so we know that this graph is the function negative, okay, k of x is x squared plus 1, and then we are adding plus some other number. I'm going to distribute this negative because this squared is inside the parentheses, so this becomes negative x squared minus 1 plus n. The vertex of our graph is at -1, +10. So I need for my number on the end to be +10. These will be my like terms. I've got to think about -1 plus what makes +10. So to solve this, I'm going to add 1 on both sides, and I get that n equals 11. -1 plus 11 would give me 10. Negative x squared plus 10 would be my equation. So we could say that n equals 11. Okay, last one, number 24. How many solutions does the equation y equals negative x squared minus 3x minus 6 have? Notice that it does not say what are the solutions, it says how many solutions, or how many x-intercepts. I'm going to look at this in my calculator by graphing, clearing out everything that I have. Negative x squared minus 3x minus 6. This graph does not cross the x-axis. It's going down, so I can see that it's not ever going to cross the x-axis. So we would say that this has none, or it has no solutions, which means x-intercepts. Okay, remember that the quadratics cumulative exam tomorrow can replace your Unit 12, 13, or 14 test grades. So study up, ask your teacher if you have questions, go to tutorials, make sure that you are prepared for this test tomorrow.